another episode of All Elite Arcade. As you can see, we're in one room, we're live, we're in person. It is the World's End pay-per-view.
Yes.
This weekend, we were both in Orlando, Florida, in a beautiful hotel room, and we're just following the holiday break. I don't know about you. I did a lot of holiday stuff, but not a lot of gaming this week.
Yeah, I did a decent amount of gaming because, again, my brother is a big gamer, so he's had off from work and hanging out with my mom and my brother. We did get some gaming in, but not near as much as typically.
Typically,
just
you would
because,
do, for sure.
Like you said, running around and seeing family.
Did you Twitch stream at all during this week?
I Twitch streamed on the 23rd.
Okay, just before?
I have not streamed since then. Same thing, because the holidays have been so busy. But I did Uno. I got to play a little bit of something which was really fun. I still have not played through on my own Baldur's Gate 3.
Neither have I.
But I didn't realize you could do this. There is incredible co-op in Baldur's Gate 3. I had no idea. So one of the coolest features they have is when you get far enough away from each other, which you can go far away, it goes into a split screen. But when you get close enough, it goes into one giant screen where you can see both players, which I just thought was so awesome. But yeah, my brother was kind of explaining to me, because Baldur's Gate 3 was one of his favorite games last year, how amazing this game is, all the different dialogue choices, the environmental damage you can do to enemies, and how even that small co-op section that we played, which was maybe for about 3 hours, he said it was totally different than his playthrough because I was making some of the decisions. But that inspired me again that I have not gone through and played Baldur's Gate 3. I have to do that.
Especially now I heard that it's a little more optimized. It runs better onto the Steam Deck. When I was trying to play it, it could run on Steam Deck, but the battery life on it would just get reduced so fast. I would get through maybe an hour and a bit before it would die. Yeah. And so I played about 4 hours of it, and really, in some games, 4 hours, you're deep into it. But in this game, there's so much content that I never felt like I scratched the surface of it. I still want to play it. I mean, it was
me too.
A lot of people's game of the year last year. And a year removed from it, I still haven't touched it.
Because I will say again, just a little bit that I played, it seems like the game could go in a million different directions just based on the decision. So it definitely is a game. The characters are awesome too. The dialogue is great. That I'm starting to understand the combat. The first time I played it, I was so confused and just getting destroyed.
Oh yeah, you pretty much have to take advantage of environments or like placements. I played Divinity Original Sin 2, which is the same developer and also the same kind of like engine, and I would get destroyed all the time, and it took me a while to realize that like you have to like put every situation, every fight that you have to put the elements to your side, and you have to approach it with either stealth or try to get the first strike or anything you can get, because you'll get overwhelmed by enemies fast. You'll get into a fight in the first hour of these games and you're thinking like, oh, I should be able to just coast by. I just started this. Nope. Like one battle, you might have 9 enemies that come at you simultaneously. And if you don't know what you're doing, you will not get through. And that's an incredible save state kind of game.
Yes. Where
you're constantly going back to a save state. I really want to play it. I still want to go back. Yeah. Especially because you can play up to 4 players in co-op as well too.
Right. Yeah. Which is so awesome. So I got to play a little bit of that, and then I also actually watched my brother play a little bit of Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, I love those games.
I love them too.
Yes.
Those games are the epitome of whether you're playing them or watching them. The experience is just as good.
I loved Heavy Rain.
Yes.
Loved it. I remember it was like the subject of a ton of like ridicule because some of the voice acting and stuff. But I love conceptually the idea that I'm playing a movie that I decide. But then also what I think I like the most of it is that you then show me the structure of what I decided. Yeah. And I know there's other paths. Something about that, knowing there's a tree of things, makes me want to do more of it. Detroit has a literal tree. When you go through paths, it'll be like, all right, if you go back to this chapter, here's like 7 delineations you could have done.
So many different options and choices. And I will say, too, is watching it being played on the PlayStation 5. This game is gorgeous. Gorgeous. It literally looks like it's the epitome of, oh, I'm playing a movie.
Yes.
That's how it feels.
And that I just realized those developers have yet to announce a new project.
Yes.
So they've probably, especially with graphics nowadays, they've got to be deep into some stuff right now. Oh, yeah. And that also like opens up to, have you played the horror games that are like that? Like Until Dawn?
Yes, Until Dawn's
the anthology. I love those things.
Yeah.
I think it's especially because it's more attractive to an audience of people who don't typically play video games.
Right.
And now they've incorporated voting through phones and stuff. So you can play with a friend, especially on these Until Dawn and then the horror anthology games. You can play alongside a friend. I could be playing on my controller and controlling, but when it comes down to making a split decision, you can vote on your phone simultaneously.
Yeah.
And so we can like really diverge paths and do it as a group. I did that as a group outing once at my home
cool.
a few years ago, and it's a lot of fun. You get a good group of people.
Yeah.
It's a good party game for sure.
Nice.
Anything else on your
other than that, just again, I've been playing quite a bit of Pokemon trading card game Pocket.
I cannot wait to talk about this.
Okay.
There's a new pack that came out.
Yes, there is.
That new Mew Mystery Creatures pack.
Yes.
I thought like, oh, incredible, 80 cards. I think it's about 80 new cards.
Yep.
This will take me forever. I'm a week in, and I only have 12 cards left to get.
Wow.
They're all rares.
Yeah.
They're all rares. I keep opening these packs. I haven't had... I don't know what happened. They ended up giving you a ton of currency if you did the versus mode in the single player. Mm-hmm. And I ended up getting all that in one day and just meticulously would open pack after pack after pack, would level up pack after pack after pack. Now I'm at that point again where I'm still not getting anything new. Yep. And I'm like, I think the last time we discussed this, we were at that point where like, oh, they better release something soon because I don't have the dopamine. Yep. They've released it, and now I'm at the point where I'm like, oh no, in a week I've already ruined like this experience in
right.
dopamine check. But they've got like holiday events right now. They've got new versus stuff for new badges, and then a slew of new missions that come with that new pack as well.
Right.
I'm pretty deep into it. Did you get any rares? Because I know we discussed in our group chat, and it feels like, other than Brandon Cutler, none of us have gotten rares.
I know. I've really had some trouble. So
yes.
what I've been doing now is I've gotten, again, a fair amount of triple diamond cards. Maybe one. I got like the Aerodactyl, which is a 4 diamond card, so not quite the star or crown cards yet. But I got a couple of rare ones. But now I'm also bouncing back. I'll open like 3 Mew packs.
Yeah.
And for every one of those, I go back to either Mewtwo, Charizard, or Pikachu.
Oh, to mix it up?
Because I still need a few.
I'm still, especially in the Mewtwo packs, I'm still aiming for a lot of the rares, and even some of like the mid-tier ones too. I haven't completely gone as well.
Yeah, same. My brother is also playing Pokemon trading card game Pocket, and he does not play it near as much as we do.
Yes.
For example, he downloaded it and didn't play it for like a week and a half. But I was with him when he opened a pack. This guy got this ultra rare pack with 2-star cards.
Yes.
3.
Everything has like the sheer on it.
Yep,
yes.
Yep, everything.
I've never had that, so
I've not either.
I saw a video this week that claimed that, and we might have talked about this on the stream before, that you can actually tell which one has a rare in it by the top of the pack has a slight fold to it. Now, this worked 3 out of 4 times, so I don't think it's real, but I think there are better chances in those packs. Because as soon as I started implementing that, where I would flick around, and if I saw one of the packs, because when you move them sideways, you could see if the plastic is head on, and sometimes they have bends. And when they have bends, 3 out of 4 times I found a rare.
I gotta do that.
Maybe start implementing that. Yeah. I don't know if it's true, but maybe the percentage are a little higher on that. And because I have definitely the rare ones that I got from the previous packs. Were definitely done that way.
Right.
But yeah, you and I have both been playing that Pokemon thing. Yes. I've been playing the versus mode surprisingly a lot too.
I still need to jump into that. I need to.
I just want the currency. Yeah. I don't even really care about my battles as much as I really just want to open more packs.
Yeah.
And the fastest method, other than waiting a 12-hour gap, is to just try and get these missions done.
Right.
And so I've been jumping a lot of those and trying to complete the missions so that I can get everything. It's pretty fun. It's still pretty fun. We're probably going to be talking about Pokemon for as long as they're releasing stuff. But on the mobile side, that was it.
That was it for me.
On the mobile side, because I've been, this was the holiday season. I was out of town. I went to go see some family. I know you were with family around where you live. I didn't get to bring a console with this because I didn't want to. It's a weird thing where you go to your family. If I bring a console, I'm just going to end up playing video games, which seems so rude.
Right.
But what I would do instead is when everyone would go to bed, I'm such a late sleeper that I would end up playing games on my phone. I ended up getting Papers, Please again. Have you ever played that?
I have not, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
So they have a mobile port on iPhone that is incredible. Like, it's very, very fun to play. I played that game and exhausted all of the paths through PC before, but I was like, for $4, whatever, I'll give this a shot on mobile because I wanted to have an experience. And it's First of all, it's the same game, but they have made it a lot easier to play on a vertical interface in a way that I think it makes for an incredible phone game. And then on top of that, I also started getting. Do you know what the Professor Layton games are?
I've heard of them, but I've not played them.
So they're these like puzzle collection games where you're kind of like Sherlock Holmes type, and you have a little boy as your second, and they've made, I think, they started on the DS, and I think they have like 4 or 5 of these games, but they've been ported to mobile now, and what they are essentially is like a little anime where you go into it has like an anime interface where you're like a Sherlock Holmes type guy, and you go around and just solve puzzles. That's all you do. You just click around. You got slider puzzles, you got math puzzles, and you know how much I love my puzzles.
For the puzzle master, that sounds great.
If there's a puzzle in it, I want to complete it. And I used to play these on the DS but I never got to complete them, and I never got to play 2 of them, like the Diabolical Box and another one. So I started playing the Diabolical Box on my mobile, and once again, I'm a real fan when the mobile port is actually tailored to mobile rather than a direct. Yeah. Because I tried to play a Castlevania one, and trying to play the buttons on a screen does not work. But changing like the interface so that you can actually drag things around, make it vertical instead of just horizontal as well. It makes worlds different on these games. Yeah. So I've been really, really enjoying that. I've been trying to solve those puzzles. I'm probably going to try and complete at least this one, but I might go back and play most of them because there's a series of them. They're about like 20 hours of puzzle games. Wow. But that's mostly what I've been playing. It's actually been a very light week for video games here. But I did want one question. It was the holiday season. Yes. Your family knows all about you. Did you get any video game stuff?
So I did get some video game stuff. One thing that I was really excited about is I got this book called Final Fantasy VII Ultimania Plus. Okay. Which has all this amazing artwork and different pictures and interviews on the process of making Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate. Beautiful book. I love coffee table video game books. Yes. Absolutely love them. I have a real big collection, so I was excited to add that. In addition to that, I got an Xbox t-shirt, which was great. All I wear is video game shirts. Right. For anyone who knows me, you'll never catch me in anything except for a video game. It's true.
Every work day you come in. What's we got Final Fantasy VII Van Gogh.
Fantasy VII Van Gogh.
Oh, there look it is. At that.
But this was also really cool. My brother got me some new streaming stuff. So I got a brand new microphone with a mic stand. Like instead of just having it on my desk, it'll come forward closer to my face, which I'm really excited about. And my mother is an amazing painter.
Yes, you've told us about this before, yeah.
And she this year painted me a Black Myth Wukong painting that looks incredible.
Will she do the title character? Or?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. And I can't wait to show it off. Like it's so it will definitely be back behind me during my streams.
Yes.
I put all of her paintings on display.
Yeah, send some photos to me about that. I would love to see that.
Definitely.
She's done other paintings for you before too, right?
Stuff. Final Fantasy, Hollow Knight, Mario.
Your basement's got to be covered in her paintings. Yeah. That's incredible.
And it's so special because it's a one of one. There's no one else who has it.
It's like it's like a piece that your mother has made, and so that's an incredible thing on its own. Right. And then it also services everything you want to do with your basement. Yeah. It's the best of both worlds for sure. It really is. Like these original custom paintings would cost a fortune too. Right. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
Oh yeah, and it takes her a while. And again, she's so incredibly talented. So I can't wait to show it off. But yeah, really really cool. I told her for the rest of my life, as far as Christmas or birthday or whatever, I'm like, I just want to paint.
Yeah, that's it.
I just want to paint.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. I mean, that's an incredible gift.
It really is. It really is. What about you?
Honestly, no video game gifts.
No video games.
Yeah, I got a bunch of socks. Evil Uno during Christmas season in our family. It's been a 20-year running. It's not even a joke. I do want these socks. It's just like they give me a pile of socks. They're like, I know you lose your socks. Here you are.
Socks are great.
Can't complain. And then some money.
Cool.
I am gonna end up. This might be. We're doing it on my laptop right now, but this might be the last hurrah for this gaming laptop. Yeah. This Alienware. You heard a little earlier. It's about to blow up.
It's loud.
And I think that's my. I think my Christmas money is going to be invested in getting a new one.
Well, that's exciting.
So if you have suggestions on video game laptops, preferably not ones that cost $3,000. Let me know in the comments down below, as well as you can also DM Old Evil Uno wherever you may, because I will be in the process of purchasing one very, very soon. Because right now, I can't use my keyboard midway. So halfway through this keyboard, it does not work. And then on top of that, you heard the fan. It's a week away from potentially being a fire hazard.
Right.
It's incredible that it's lasted me 6 years. But that's going to be my Christmas present for myself.
And that sounds awesome.
Yes, yes, and all the courtesy of my parents' money. Yeah. I'll take it very much so. That's it for this week of stuff, but we've got a bunch of news that we got to talk about because it's the end of the year. We did our game of the year. If you didn't listen to our previous podcast, make sure you listen to it. We talked about our games of the year, but there are other publications that talked about theirs, and we're going to talk about them right after this. Oh, we're back, and it's time for the news of the week. We're in mid-December, actually late December. It's post-Christmas. We're going in the new year, which is incredible.
2025.
We got one more episode before. Well, this is the episode before the new year.
Yeah.
And then a brand new year, brand new news, brand new video games. I'm really hoping for. Yes. We actually have a pretty big February coming up.
We do.
Holiday season. We get the game of the years. We also get Sonic 3, which just came out in the movie theaters. I heard is incredible.
I have not seen it yet.
Yes. Have you seen the first two?
Yes.
Okay.
They're great.
I really want to see this third one. I heard that it's the best one yet.
Yeah.
So you get a bunch of movies, but you also get the game of the years. We talked about the Game Awards, giving it to Astrobot. We talked about us. In the end, we gave it to 4 games because none of us could figure on one. But the other largest publication out there in the video game world is probably IGN.
Definitely. Everyone
knows of them. That is where I started looking at game reviews, and eventually, GameFAQs got built into another thing, and then now IGN has its own history with walkthroughs and so on. And so it is probably the main distributor of video game news out there, at least in North America. Yeah. Well, here it is. Here's their Game of the Year award winner. They gave it to Metaphor.
Yes.
Yeah, which I'm not surprised, but honestly, IGN's an odd one because they typically would have leaned into I thought they would have done Astrobot. Yeah. Personally. Right. Or Final Fantasy, because they were very big on Final Fantasy when it came out.
Yeah. And then so I do listen to a fair amount of IGN podcasts, whether that be Unlocked, Beyond, NVC, Game Scoop as well. Yep. And I will say a lot of the people who were there discussing it were strongly praising Metaphor, and rightfully so. Yes. I mean, the game is an incredible RPG, so it's cool. Again, I really did feel this way with the nominees during the Game Awards and the nominees that we discussed for Game of the Year. I feel like anything could have taken the spot. 2024 has been stacked.
Yes, it really didn't lean to one game. There's at least 6 games that I would make no qualms. I'd have no qualms if it became the Game of the Year of any publication. Yeah, for sure, because it was a very, very strong year.
Exactly.
For sure.
So huge congrats to Metaphor.
Yeah, and Mason must be very happy because that was his Game of the Year, and it seems it's been pulling in a lot of big numbers too. I definitely have to go back and finish it, which I have not yet. But once I have this new laptop, the gaming will double in my lifetime. Quick little plug here. Are you an AEW insider? Well, get early access to ticket pre-sales, special merchandise offers, and more straight to your inbox. All you got to go is go and sign up today at awtix.com. That is where you can become an AEW insider and find out about everything coming up in the future. More news here. Steam actually just disclosed a bunch of analytics for the year 2024. Where there's a Steam sale right now. There's a winter sale. Let us know in the comments down below what you've picked up, because I have not picked up anything quite yet. I'm about to do that probably later today. But best of Steam 2024, that includes the gross revenue of the year, as well as the gross revenue for specifically new releases, and the most played by peak concurrent players. A quick little tidbit about the year on Steam. It seems that 15% of all Steam users, this is across the board, played 2024 game releases, which means that at least 15% of Steam users right now, and they've been around for a decade, I think, are active users now, actively playing video games and playing the newest releases.
Yes.
Which is very interesting to know, because I feel like the medium of video games is only growing and growing and growing.
Absolutely.
And I wasn't sure if there'd be like a big drop off in Steam in the last 10 years. Well, it does not seem like the case, because we're getting numbers like crazy. All right, let's start off by we'll do gross revenue new releases first.
Okay.
These are the new releases that gross the most revenue in 2024, and it goes first. And this is a reversed order. Yep. NBA 2K25, not surprising. Path of Exile 2, which is surprising. It came out last week.
Yep.
That is a juggernaut.
That
of a
game
move.
has snowballed, and I keep seeing it more and more. And every piece of footage I see, I'm like, "Ooh, I gotta play it."
Yeah, it's on that weird brink where I was like, maybe this could have been nominated for Game of the Year had it come out earlier. I have a friend who is every day he's begging me to play.
Oh, nice.
I definitely want to jump into that. EA Sports FC 25. Of course, the sports games have always done really good. Space Marine 2.
Very happy about that.
There you go.
Very happy about that.
Pal World. Unsurprising as well. Big update this year, and as well, Pal World, a huge juggernaut. Stalker 2, which is a little surprising because it is more predominantly an Xbox title, but Steam getting a lot of sales there. Oh, yeah. Dragon's Dogma 2, still haven't played it.
Still haven't played it either. It looks fun though.
It looks very fun.
Yeah.
Black Ops 6, actually, considering the placement, that's surprising. You'd think it would be higher up. Black Ops is usually one of the biggest gaming releases, but also a predominantly Xbox title now, being it on Game Pass, and that's kind of the advertising for it too. Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. I haven't played this one.
I have it downloaded.
Really?
Ready to go on my
this
PS5.
is like a pure fighter game, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah. I hear a lot of people are like, this is like the sequel that we've always wanted to Budokai Tenkaichi, which is my favorite. 2 is my favorite of those. Ooh, and I definitely want to get around to this. Manor Lords at number 3. I've never played this.
I have never played Manor Lords
either. Don't even know what it is.
Yeah, truth be told, I'm embarrassed. I feel like I should know what it is.
Yeah, I feel that's like a 2024 release that neither of us are aware of.
Right. But awesome.
Awesome. Good for you, Manor Lords. I'm going to look into you right after this. Number 2, Helldivers 2.
Yes.
Unsurprising. I think the only thing that probably changed it is that also predominantly a console game on PlayStation. That is where I think most of its user base is. But it does have crossplay, and people are freaking loving it. They're still going for it. And then number 1 of the year. This is surprising because Final Fantasy not listed on here. Black Myth Wukong, the most in gross revenue for 2024.
The amount of people that played that game overseas was
astronomical. Yes. Internationally, it is a huge hit.
Huge game.
Yes.
So actually seeing this, it made me excited, but also I was not that surprised based on the amount of concurrent players at one point.
That's true.
When this game was out, where I was like, oh my God, Black Myth Wukong's taken over the world.
Yes.
So good for Black Myth.
Yeah. Actually, on the topic of concurrent players, there was over 450,000 concurrent players at some of the top levels. Wow. Here are the most played concurrently of the year in 2024. That means there are the most people in one single time playing the video games, because that is how they count those views. Elden Ring at the bottom of the list. Marvel Rivals, which just came out. Yeah. I still haven't played it either.
I haven't either.
I hear great things about it as well.
Yeah.
Dota 2, that's unsurprising. It has people love Dota.
That's always going to be.
I think there's at least 3 in this list that is unsurprising, based solely on the fact that no one will stop playing these games ever.
Yeah.
Path of Exile 2, once again, just came out.
Yeah, this is an early access.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, it was in beta.
Yeah.
Before this too. Helldivers 2. On like we said, one of the biggest in gross revenue, of course, is going to be on there. Counter-Strike 2. Counter-Strike is still alive,
still going
and kicking.
Yeah, right.
Kicking.
Very much kicking.
I used to play that. I played 1.6 back in the day, and that was like 20 plus years ago.
Wow,
crazy.
Yeah,
crazy to think that Counter-Strike is still going.
Still dominates. So fun. I've not played 2 though. But
I actually played a little bit, but I dropped off after 1.6 for sure. Okay. It used to be my entire life.
Yeah,
would be just playing this game. I'd get home and do nothing but.
Oh wow!
I was never good. Last 4, PUBG, free to play, Unsurprising, much like Fortnite, I think it will go on forever.
I do too.
This one surprises me based on how many people are playing concurrently. Apex Legends, above Counter-Strike and above PUBG, both free to play.
And I will say, in my experience, again, I really love other Battle Royale games, but Apex is my favorite.
So it has that 3-player co-op that's kind of like its core focus. I love the movement-based stuff.
I love it so much.
Titanfall 2 is maybe one of the best single-player first-person shooter games, and it's just that engine that they've blown up. And it's also based on Titanfall in general, right? The Apex stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't played it in a long time. This game's been out for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, God, I remember playing. It was either 2017.
It was
or
PS4.
Yeah.
So, man. Good for them for still going at and still updating, because I see all kinds of new content all the time and free to play. Get out there if you're not playing it. The second, we talked about it earlier, Black Myth Wukong.
Wait, it's a single player game. That's what's so wild about it.
Yeah, because usually it's like the multiplayer games dominate these because more people want to play with other people. Not this one.
Right.
This one just, I think, like you were saying, it had such a large international market. There was no way this wasn't going to rank high. Yeah. And then number 1, it didn't make the most money, but it did rank as the top in concurrent players. Pal World took over the world at the early parts of 2024 for sure.
Really, really did. And I still have not jumped in and tried Pal World.
I played a little bit when it was very young. And now they've shelved it out. They made a whole other island, is what I told. Essentially, they did the Elden Ring thing where whatever you initially started with, there's a whole other section now. I'm jonesing to try it again, but I don't know what it'll take for me to jump in, because I know it is a time sink to jump into this game, because you can play hundreds and hundreds of hours and really only reach a little bit of the content. But that has the most played by over 450,000 people.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
And then finally, in best of 2024 for Steam, this is gross revenue top sellers of all.
Yes.
We're talking, no matter what year it came out, these are the top games that have sold on a Steam platform, so be it Steam Deck or Steam Store, it all the same. Starts off with PUBG Battlegrounds, a free-to-play game, is still making tons of money.
Yeah.
Tons of money. And I think that's still, once again, a team of maybe 4 people.
Is it really?
Yes.
Only 4
so
people. So
PUBG was that PUBG. Player unknown is one guy and a few other people supporting it.
I did not know that. I knew. Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and also started the craze of Battle Royale. I don't know if it was the first, but it was definitely the first. I remember people being like, "Oh, you got to do these 100."
You're right. I don't know if it was the first, but it certainly was the first mainstream.
For sure.
Into Battle Royales now.
Yeah. Dota 2 right after that, not surprising as well. Another free to play, makes a lot of money. Baldur's Gate. It does not say 3 here, but I guarantee you it's 3.
Yeah,
it's got to be 3. I don't think anyone's going back and playing 1 and 2. Baldur's Gate, the game of the year almost universally last year for most people. Not us, because neither of us played it.
Yeah.
But going into the new year, I think this was the first time it went on sale. I think in mid-year it was reduced by $20, which had never been done before. And so I know it strongly sold at that point too.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike 2 up on that list. Space Marine 2. Hey, great.
I'm stoked about that.
Yeah.
Again, that was in my top 10 for game of the year this year.
It's weird because these Warhammer games come out all the time.
Yeah.
They're always of high quality, but I never until this Space Marine one, I feel like no one ever talks about them. Vermintide might have been the other one, the first person slasher one.
Yeah.
And but it never got the attention that as much as this one had.
This one for sure. Yeah.
Apex Legends right after that, we talked about it. It is huge. Pal World right after that. Black Ops 6 at the top of the final 4. Number 3. Black Myth Wukong, and this is the only game that's never been on sale,
which is wild.
Yes,
only game on the list that's not gone on sale yet,
and it's been out for a while. It's been out 5-6 months at this point, but they know it will sell.
Yeah,
and it has, because that's the number 3 most money made in gross revenue. Yeah. And then Helldivers 2. I also think this might include their DLCs because I'm seeing that somehow Black Myth topped Helldivers on the other list, and then the daddy of them all, and this is unsurprisingly as well because the DLC came out this year.
Yep.
Elden Ring made the most money for Steam this year. I don't have the number for gross revenue as the top seller, but it is the top seller of the year, and that is because one, big sales on the video game. It's an incredible video game. Can't complain.
One of the greatest of all time.
One of the greatest. It works on all their Steam Decks, be it the original model or the OLED.
Yeah.
And that big DLC came out this year, so I'm sure some people who missed out on the original craze of it probably bought both.
It definitely, when Elden Ring first came out, it felt like all you were seeing was clips of Elden Ring everywhere, and everyone was talking about it. There was that same craze when the DLC came
for sure.
It was all over.
For sure. Everyone was talking about it, and then I remember a lot of people being like, oh, I guess this is the time to try Elden Ring. There's a DLC. Yeah. Well, you just got 400 hours of video game in one single shot. So there you go. Elden Ring, best top seller of Steam, but also shout out to Pal World and Black Myth Wukong as well for making a whole lot of money and also having a whole lot of players in 2024. Some more news here. Sega's back in the news, and they actually have a quite interesting idea, and that is they're considering to do a Netflix-like game subscription service. Yeah. So cycle in some games, kind of like, I mean, Nintendo has it, but it's locked to one platform.
Yes.
Xbox has it. It's also locked to, well, I mean, you can get on PC, but it's locked to platforms. My understanding is that Sega wants it to be like a streaming service. So you can get it on televisions and just get your Sega games on there. Do you think Sega has the library to do that?
I think absolutely.
Yes.
Sega has the library to do that. I'm actually incredibly excited about this because Sega's, the franchises they've made over the years, and just giving the opportunity for more people who either love Sega or have not gotten to check out some of these amazing Sega games. I think Sega would knock it out of the park if they did something like this. I love that idea.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I think because they've dropped out of the console cycle, people kind of forget that Sega was the top name other than Nintendo. They were neck and neck
at one point in North America. They were a little bit higher up.
Their ads actually made people like them more.
Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Exactly. I remember when the Dreamcast came out, I didn't care for any other thing but the Dreamcast.
Oh, nice.
I was like, Sega's the king. So you have to pay. So first of all, they've got Genesis, they've got the Master System, they've got Sega CD,
Sega
Saturn, they've got Dreamcast, and then if you think about it, they become a publisher afterwards. So all the Sonic games that came out, be Colors or Generations or Mania, they published Shenmue. All the Shenmue games can get on there. Power Stone. One of the largest series that's on all console nowadays, the Yakuza series, is Sega published. A lot of horror games too, Fatal Frame and so on and so forth. So I think as far as a library, I personally, I think the one that would make the most money is if Nintendo were to just offer them, if you could open up a television and go to Netflix, but the same way for Nintendo, I feel like that would make the most money. Sega, I think, might be the second. I think in a lot of people's minds, they don't think about them because they're not on console, but like nostalgia alone, they have the Sonic franchises. They've got they've got Shenmue, they've got the Dracula game. That's me as a child that would play a lot of Genesis Dracula. But like, They've got a lot of video games they can offer, and then also they've got the Olympics games with Sonic and Mario.
And I do appreciate with Nintendo Switch Online how Nintendo has NES, SNES, N64, Game Boy Advance. The online service to play retro games is amazing.
Yes.
But they also have that Sega Genesis collection.
Yes, I don't know how they did that.
Yeah.
They must have paid a good lump sum to Sega.
But it's so cool that they have that option too. So if Sega were to do its own thing, similar to what Nintendo did, but like you said, a streaming service where it's just on televisions, that has me excited. That'd be really, really cool.
And then as far as a price point, I'm in a weird phase where I realize I think I'm spending more on monthly subscriptions now than I ever would have on cable. But if this is like a $10 thing, I think it could do gangbusters for sure. Especially with like Xbox Game Pass being around that price point as well.
Right.
I feel like there is definitely some money to be made there. So Sega, you have our vote. If you do it, you got my money for
we love it.
Sure, we love it. We love it. We love it. That is it for our news for this week. There has been other ones. If you want to disclose some of your favorite news, put it in the comments down below. YouTube.com/AEW Games, and I will read them in the coming week. But that's not all for this podcast. That's right. We're about to do it. We're about to go to our favorite segment, and it comes out right after this.
And we're back, and now it's time for our favorite segment, the All Elite Arcade Mailbag, brought to you by Upper Deck. Collect your favorite wrestlers in 2024 Upper Deck AEW and start your trading card collection today. Unwrap autograph, memorabilia, or premium tech inserts.
We've got a pack right here, and we're going to be unpacking it live. I've already ripped this open because I don't want to look like a fool.
Yeah. Oh,
here we go.
Like
We've never seen these before. First up, we've got Malachi. Ooh, I'm gonna have to angle this. Good pull over here. We've got Sky Blue in her goth phase. Yeah. We've got it's a sideways one. This is the guns.
It's the guns.
It's the guns. They should do that. Dustin Rhodes.
Beautiful.
I think we pulled that one last time.
I think so.
Wheeler Yuta. Freaking Jack Wheeler Yuta. Looking good. Looking good. Cereal Box Samoa Joe.
Cereal Box Samoa Joe. That's cool.
His video game coming out, Yakuza, in February. Very excited.
Yes.
We've got a Swerve Strickland.
And shiny.
It's shiny. Look at this thing go.
Oh, nice.
Up here is Big Bill. Large William. Matt Hardy. Willow Nightingale.
Beautiful. This is a good pack.
We're really
very
pulling,
good pack.
We're pulling big. The now deceased best friends. And
that.
Our good big man.
Will Hobbs.
The Meat Man. Well, not the Meat Man, but
Right.
a Meat Man.
Right.
Will Hobbs.
So make sure, everyone, to visit upperdeck.com to learn more. Thank you very much once again to Upper Deck for sponsoring today's podcast.
We're here at the Arcade Mailbag. If you want your questions read, much like these 3 questions we're about to read right now, go to tbs.com/arcade mailbag and send us your question. At the moment, it is only, I believe, in the U.S. or in North America. But we love to answer your questions. This is our favorite part of the show. So do send us your questions. Always a great time going back and answering them.
Yes. And we're going to start off with our first question. We have 3 questions today, but question number 1 is from Dylan. Dylan, thank you for the question. Dylan says, hey guys, if you were the big boss at Capcom and had to make these 3 decisions for the following franchises, God Hand, Beautiful Joe, and Final Fight, how would you choose? Number 1, which one would you develop a new game for? Number 2, which one would you adapt into a movie? And number 3, which one would you retire permanently?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, that's a tough one.
Capcom's got a lot of games because I just realized, I was like, I had no idea they made God Hand.
Yes.
So I actually, you know what? I thought this would be hard, but it came to me very suddenly. I think, first of all, what would I retire permanently? I'm going to say God Hand, and I'm going to explain why in my next 2 picks. First, what would I develop a new game for? I think people have been wanting a new Beautiful Joe game.
We have the same
for about 15 plus years now, and I feel like, especially with the way like graphics have gone now, you could not that I'm saying it should go 3D. In fact, I think it needs to stay 2D. But I feel like we could be taking full advantage of that art style nowadays.
My God, we could. It would look beautiful.
It would look incredible. It would be considered a budget game also. I don't think it would be a $70 game, and I think in a lot of ways that would be very attractive to people. And then finally, I think of the 3, the biggest brand for a movie would have to be Final Fight. I feel it's the easiest one to make. It's look at Mortal Kombat, look at Street Fighter. Final Fight is an easy one to do. Yes. Just get 2 boys and a mayor to go around and mess up some people on television. I would watch that. I would watch that.
I can't believe. So we did not discuss this at all whatsoever. And my answer is the exact same. Exact same. Again, a new Beautiful Joe game would be absolutely incredible, especially imagining it imagining it in 2025 with like a new art style would be so the same art style, but like an upgraded version. Final Fight as a movie would be incredible. And truth be told, I actually don't know a ton about God Hand.
So I hate, and maybe that's why we ended up retiring it permanently. I don't either.
Okay.
Like I know of it, and
I'm sure it's great.
I know people who live and die by it.
Yeah.
But I've never done.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah. I might watch a gameplay video of it and or walk through and find out if that's my thing.
Right. But Dylan, thank you so much for the question. Really appreciate it. Good one.
Great question. This one's from Jolly Gerbil. That's Gerbil, right? That's Gerbil.
Yep, that's right.
Hello, Uno and Chugs. I know I'm jumping the gun, but I thought this might be fun to look back at next year around this time. Ooh. Okay. What game do you think has a shot at winning Game of the Year for next year? My safe bet is GTA 6, but every fiber of my being wants Borderlands 4 to make a huge comeback for the franchise and win Game of the Year.
That would be incredible. That would be so incredible. Yeah, again, I'm a huge Borderlands fan, so I'm right there with you. If Borderlands 4 was so good that it won Game of the Year, I would be absolutely over the moon. Also, of course, I keep telling myself this. I keep trying to manifest it into existence. Could Silk Song be the Game of the Year for 2025? We don't know. We don't even know if it's coming out.
I hope so.
Gotta be awesome. But I will say, as far as a safe bet goes, I mean, I agree. GTA 6 has the biggest chance at winning Game of the Year.
If it doesn't get delayed, of course.
If it doesn't get delayed. Because, once again, Rockstar has done this amazing thing where the expectations for these games are so high, and every single time they surpass them.
Yes.
If you remember when Red Dead 2 came out, we're like, there's no way.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was, in my opinion, the greatest Rockstar game ever made. I love Red Dead 2.
The expectations for 5 were ridiculous, too.
Ridiculous.
And that's that game's made the most money ever.
Yep.
Ever. Right. That's the media entity that's made the most money ever.
Yeah.
This single game.
Yes. So I my answer is I do think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to exceed the already incredibly high expectations, and I think it has a very, very high shot at winning game.
I'm hoping I'm wrong on this, but I'm going to say it disappoints people.
Really?
I think it'll be a real good game.
Okay.
I think it'll be real strong, but I think now, especially with 5 being so polished, Red Dead Redemption 2 being so polished. I think this one will be polished, but people will be like, it just seems so flat. It seems so boring.
Yeah.
I think it won't win. And I'm going to say it right now. I'm saying the Resident Evil 9 game is going to win Game of the Year. I think it's going to surprise everyone.
I would love that.
It's been cooking longer than those previous announcements.
Yep.
I'm hoping we have a nice little surprise this year. And it goes to Resident Evil.
Yeah. And speaking of Resident Evil, again, the games have just been crushing
so
with
good.
The remakes.
Those last 2 as well. Oh my god,
unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think they're supposed to be remaking more games too.
Yeah, I think so too. There's a rumor about Code Veronica.
Yes.
There's a rumor about maybe remaking once again Resident Evil 1, maybe Resident Evil 0. So, it's going to be a good
I'm very excited to see what Capcom has in store for us for 2025.
Yes.
Thanks to you, Jolly Gerbil. A very, very good question.
And last but not least, this is from Daisuke. Daisuke, thank you very much. It says, hey, Chugs and Uno. Last week's episode with MXM was a lot of fun. Thank you. We had a blast. Hopefully we get to see them more in the new year.
I'm sure you will.
Yes,
I'm sure you will.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you guys if there's a specific place in a video game that you just sit there for a while and take in the scenery. Great question. For example, one of my favorite games is Ghost of Tsushima.
Let's go do it.
And I will literally just sit in one of the forests and enjoy the music and ambience. Very relaxing. Also, side note, know you guys like roguelikes, so I just wanted to throw one out there that I picked up during the holidays. The game is called Ballionaire. And it's a pachinko roguelike that involves building pegboards and trying to achieve massive combo scores to earn cash. Check it out when you get a chance. Thank you very much for the recommendation.
I really appreciate that because I've been looking for a nice little travel game that should be very fun.
But to answer your question, though, and again, I hate to give the same answer that you did, but I'll name a different part. The intro scene to Ghost of Tsushima, where they're playing the theme and there's like black bars above the screen where it looks like a movie, and then right as the music kicks in and you run into that beautiful field, how it opens up and I'm getting chills talking about it.
Yes.
The first time I played that, as the song was playing, I was running and Jin is like touching the field or whatever while he's on his horse, and I just sat there for a second and was like, this is one of the most beautiful opening scenes to a video game I have ever experienced. I actually, the first time I saw that, I went on YouTube and I screen captured that scene so I can just randomly watch
it anytime.
I love it. It's so gorgeous. So Ghost is such a good answer.
I hate to say this. I'll say a different answer just to be different. But like as I was reading, as the questions being read, I was like, oh, Ghost of Tsushima.
I know.
For sure. The intro, or just like gallivanting in the flowers.
Yeah.
I would just and the moment of Zen stuff. I would take those in. I'd be like, yeah. This game's gorgeous.
It's beautiful. And you know what, Uno? I will give one other answer besides Ghost.
Yes, go for it.
So just pretty much anywhere in Skellige in The Witcher 3. Like with that beautiful music playing and the scenery is gorgeous. It's like on its own island by itself.
I don't think I've been there yet.
Oh, okay. I won't.
Oh, wait.
It's going to be your favorite.
That's the cityscape on the top right? Or
Nope. I don't think
I haven't been there. I haven't been there yet.
Wait till you get there, Uno. It's beautiful.
I would often, in Red Dead Redemption 2, first of all, I'd never like to fast travel because part of my fun is just I made a cowboy playlist that I would listen to as I played, and I would just like run into the sunset and stuff. But anytime there is a lightning storm, I would just get to a top of a hill and just wait and watch it. And I'm pretty sure I have a couple of like PS5 screen grabs that I ended up using as computer backgrounds because it was so nice.
Awesome.
It's one of those games that like on top of being so good, so polished, so much content in it, I would constantly be like, I cannot believe I'm playing a video game that looks this good.
Yeah.
That's our suggestion. But you know what? Ghost of Tsushima, it's up there. It's up there. It might be even number one.
I think it's still number one.
Yeah.
Especially that intro.
That intro too, if you're playing in black and white the way that because there's that second mode. It's so cool. It's so cool. Go out your way if you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima. We're getting a new Ghost game next year.
Ghost of Yote.
Oh,
that could be Game of the Year.
That could be Game of the Year. Oh my god. I completely forgot about that.
I'm so excited. We got a good 2025 ahead of us.
There's a lot coming.
2023 and 2024 have been like untouchable. I think it's going to be a three-peat. I think 2025 is going to be just as fun.
Okay, actually, not to extend this any further.
No, yeah.
Switch 2 is coming out this year.
Yes.
I'm canceling all of my previous pick. Whatever Mario game it launches with is going to be Game of the Year.
I see your argument.
That's a bold claim, I know, but can you bet against Mario? I don't think so.
And especially after Astrobot. Are you kidding me? Nintendo is going to come out swinging.
I think they knew too. In advance, they're making an Astrobot. We gotta hammer this one home.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see what they do. And if they make a Donkey Kong game, the DS one's coming out next
January.
Next month.
Donkey Kong Country returns.
Fucking bring Donkey Kong back. Mario. I hope you win this year. I'm just excited to find out if we get a big Mario game. I think you have to. I have to with a Switch too. For sure. That is it for this week. Thank you very much. If you want to ask questions, you can. tbs.com/ask or tbs.com/arcade mailbag. You can find us on youtube.com/AEW games. I don't know what this will. Yes, it will be disclosed. We got new content coming out.
Yes,
we got new content on youtube.com/AEW games. You saw MXM last week for the Game of the Year awards. Well, Bronami Code is coming to the channel, and on top of that, we've got tournaments for the championship.
Yes, we do for the championship.
For the Chugs AEW Games Championship, as well as other content. The new year, we will be launching into a lot more stuff as well. That is where you can watch our video format of our podcast, youtube.com/AEW Games. And also, we can find us on all other podcast networks for the audio format, all on Mondays. Chugs? Yes. You're probably Twitch streaming this week, right?
Definitely. As a matter of fact, as 2025 approaches and we're getting closer and closer, my goal is to play more video games than I've ever played, beat more games than I've ever beat, stream more games than I've ever streamed before. So yes, twitch.tv/thechugs 2025. We're going to start things off strong. Tons of streaming, tons of games. Come check it out.
I know I say this every week, but I think, you know what? I'm in 2025. I got to stop claiming I'm gonna Twitch stream. I think I just gotta start Twitch streaming again. I just gotta start Twitch streaming again. And I've been wanting to do a lot of like old Simpsons games. So you know what? I'm doing it. In the new year, Evil Uno's just gonna come back full time to Twitch. It's been a long time.
It's happening.
It's been a long time, and it's happening.
You've been very busy.
It's true. It is true. It's been a rough year for Evil Uno for sure. So twitch.tv/thechugs, twitch.tv/Evil Uno. You find us there, and AEW games everywhere else. We will be back next week with more All Elite Arcade. Bye bye.